Ahora vamos y juntos celebramos, aquí todos estamos bajo el mismo sol. Aunque no hay sol. ¿Dónde está el sol? Dime. ¿Dónde está? ¿Dónde está el sol? Hello everybody, good morning, assalamu alaikum, buenos dias, good morning everyone. Today I'm just going to talk about something that's been not bothering me, but I've been thinking about a lot since my move in Spain. And the theme of today's topic is going to be about health. So I'm going to compare living in Spain and where I'm living in the U.S. of course, and discuss about health things that I noticed while living the short time I've lived in Spain. So first of all, food. The food in Spain is, I think, considerably much more healthy than the food in the U.S. For example, in Spain people eat in bits. So like we have a little, like we do, especially like something I really like, this menu del dia, which starts with the appetizer and the main dish and then dessert, and it's even for affordable cost. And in all the foods I've eaten, I never felt like, oh my gosh, that was so greasy and I feel gross after eating it. In Spain, the portions are definitely smaller than that of the U.S. We know in the U.S. we eat big, especially in the south of the U.S. everything is bigger there. So in Spain you still eat a lot, but everything comes in little bits of pieces. You don't even know that you're even getting food. But in U.S. it's like, bam, here's the food, gorge it all, you know. But in Spain it's just like, it's little. And I think it's a good way of eating because you can easily stop and say, I am full, I don't need to eat more. So that's something I like, I think, about Spain. And also, one thing is, this is particular to me, I just love Spain's oranges. I like citrus fruits in general, but like Spain has a special place in my heart when it comes to oranges. Their oranges are so delicious. Ah, gosh, I love it. It beats like just having natural orange, like, you know, the orange that we buy in the grocery, or the orange juice. And let me tell you about the orange juice in Spain. It is the freshest thing I've ever had, and it makes me wonder what we drink in the US, because that is not fresh at all. No matter what brand they say, like, this is freshly squeezed oranges. No, the one in Spain is so fresh. There's actually a restaurant that I passed by in Metro Acacias. It says the best orange juice in Madrid, but I had their orange juice and it was so delicious. It's as if you squeeze the orange from the pulp and just pour it in your cup. It's so delicious. Like you wouldn't understand until you try it, and you know, like, my oh my, this is definitely fresh. So I think, yeah, it's really healthier, it tastes fresher. I love the oranges in Spain. Food in general, like I said, is more healthier, I think, in Spain than in the US. Yeah, the other thing that might not be so healthy, considered as American, is whenever the Spanish eat vegetables usually, because when I was in my school I noticed that they had broccoli and in the broccoli they mix like ham bits in that. That was very odd for me to see because, you know, we don't do that in the US. Like, if it's vegetable, it's vegetable. We don't need to put meat inside, so that's something I just didn't think was so necessary, but that's what they do in Spain and that's their way. What else? Okay, so also think, considering health in Spain, most people walk, people drive, but you know, the transportation system in Madrid is so very efficient. You don't even, it's not necessary to have a car. So a lot of people walk, young people walk, middle-aged people walk, old people walk. This is something that is very rare, and I'm going to talk about that later at the end. Everyone is walking in Spain, doesn't matter what age you are, and I think that helps a lot in terms of health issues. In the US it depends, you know. For example, big cities like New York and some other major cities, maybe San Francisco and Washington DC, you don't need to have a car because, you know, parking is kind of expensive. and it just pays more to walk about, and maybe their metro system is more efficient. But where I live in Ohio and Louisiana and other parts of the South, you cannot walk. It's rare. Like, I know when I was in Ohio and like, we see someone walking, we just look at the person like he's this alien, like, why are you walking? Like, are you from this world? Are you from this planet? It's very rare to see someone walking in the parts I live in the U.S. So I think that's very healthy, because we Americans, we eat a lot. Like I told you, we eat the whole bulk of food. You feel heavy and you're not even walking it off. You just like eat, you're full, and then you sit in your car and you drive and you sit down. Like, there's no mobility except when we go to the gym. So that's something that is different, and I would give Spain an A+ for involuntary exercise through walking. Healthcare, oh my gosh, healthcare in Spain is so good. I think I was listening to NPR and I saw in articles that the healthcare system in Spain is one of the best in the world. So everyone has access to healthcare. Even undocumented immigrants have access to healthcare. In Spain, they believe that it's your constitutional right to have to be taken care of. Your health has to be taken care of. Whereas in the U.S., we're having an issue with healthcare, and like you have to have a co-sponsor and all of that. That is not so much of an issue in Spain, and it's affordable compared to the U.S. Although I'm hearing that it's getting a little bit more expensive, but it's definitely more affordable than the U.S. So a lot of people have access to healthcare, and that's not an issue when living in Spain. Alright, so the next one that I'm really going to talk about and go deep into is smoking. So I know in Europe in general, a lot of people smoke, and that's something that was a little bit of a shocker. Well, not a shocker, I've lived in Europe before when I was younger, but it was kind of a re-shocker for me coming to Europe and Spain, because in the US people smoke, but not as much as people in Spain. And for example, it's even like when someone's smoking in your near you, it's like you're so offended, and like they know, and they like try to go away from you so their fumes of the smoke wouldn't come close to you. But in Spain, it's socially acceptable for someone to basically talk to you and be smoking in your face. And I've had to get used to that, because obviously I'm in their country and I don't want to be offensive to somebody. But that's something that's more common in Spain. Almost everyone smokes. It doesn't even matter, like from teenagers to older people, almost everyone smokes. A lot of people smoke in Spain. And something very interesting, so like in the US, I know earlier on in the 70s and on a little bit upward, a lot of people used to smoke in the US, and then things change, and now they're like adverts showing let's look at this advert, for example.
Pack of cigarettes?
You need a little more, honey.
What's a pack of smokes cost? Your smooth skin.
See you again.
Smoking causes wrinkles that age you prematurely. What are cigarettes costing you?
Yeah, so like you see, there are adverts showing that smoking is so bad, and they even scare you. They do scary tactics. I will show you an advert in a bit. They show you scary tactics, like if you smoke, this is what's going to happen to you. There's one ad I really don't like. They show it on mainstream television in the US, where someone I think has bronchitis or something, and also their trachea, there's a hole in their trachea, and people are like, oh, I lost my voice, and it's like, and they show you the hole, and I just like, oh my gosh, I cannot look at it. It's such a big deal. Like, the preventive measures are so heavy right now in the US, preventing you from smoking. I've talked to Spaniards about this, and they told me that there are adverts preventing that and trying to scare people from smoking, but I've not really seen it so far when I've been watching the TV in Spain. But something I noticed, like, so although we in the US, we like always say don't smoke, and we have so much heavily advertised commercials showing you the hazards of smoking. It's just interesting for me to know that, like, although a lot of people, more people smoke in Spain, I feel like people live longer in Spain and they seem more healthy in Spain. So there's something, that I think we're not doing right in the US, because like I think the mortality rate might be a little bit higher in the US compared to Spain, although less people smoke in Spain, in Europe, in the US I mean. So it's not only smoking that contributes to your health. Obviously there are other things to consider. So it's probably that all the things I mentioned before in Spain, that they're good health care, them walking, good food, that reduces the mortality rate among people, despite the fact that a lot of people smoke. And it's so surprising, even the old people, and they're still like walking like like nothing, no pasa nada. Compared to the US, everyone I said is driving about. I don't see old people walk as much as Europe in general, or Spain. So that's something. So yeah, like I said, old people here are very active. I like seeing that. It's just so cute when I see the old people on the street walking, crossing the road, and everyone is patient when they're crossing the road. People are not honking their car like, get out the way, like it's so nice, and it makes me feel good. Like I feel like when I retire, it's best to be an old person in Spain, because there's just like so much, like they're like, yeah, the system accommodates old people. Like I haven't even seen much retirement homes here as we have in the US. People here are very like family conscious. Family is so important to them. So like I think it's very rare that they would drop their parents in retirement home. Like most of them live together. Even like people in their 20s, some of them still live with their parents. So like family is such a big issue here. So in terms of that, the old people here, they like seem very healthy compared to the old people in the US. And like I have some old people that are my neighbors here. They're always every morning walking through the corridor, or hallway in American English, hallway of my apartment, making sure that they get that exercise in. So that is some of the few things I've noticed in Spain. Oh, just one bit. This is kind of like a side. The pizza, of course, I'm going to talk about pizza. Pizza is a staple dish around the world nowadays. In the US, one thing I didn't like about US pizza, it's always so greasy. So whenever we have pizza, just dab it with the tissue, you see all the oil. That doesn't really happen in Spain, and that's my litmus test that Spain is healthier than the US in terms of food. So for health, Spain is not perfect, but I would definitely give Spain an A compared to the US in terms of health. So yeah, that's my little review in comparison between the US and Spain. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Is there something I forgot to add? Let me know. So have a nice week. Hasta luego.